day traders. I wanted to recap a couple of the day trades from this morning. We're day trading actively in the morning between 9:30 and 10:30. So if you have time and that hour free, 9:30 to 10:30 Eastern, 1 hour after the bell, we are actively looking for opportunities on 5-minute time frames using our automated tools. I'm going to walk you through what we did today, Wednesday, April 16th, in the room via the alerts that I put in the notes. So again, I highly recommend if you're going to day trade, hang out with me for the hour, live on the mic, hands on the keyboard, hand on the mouse, so you're ready to go with what can be sometimes a quick moving day. First trade of the morning was a setup at 9:32 where we set up the April 16 GLD calls. You can see this right in here. Notice that I'm giving everyone the triggers in the language of the GC. So this allows GLD traders to buy the options. This allows GC traders to buy the futures. MGC traders, it allows for a lot more complete data. Now think about this. At 9:32, GLD is just barely waking up. GC futures have been moving for hours and hours, and this is a huge edge, having these hourly price movement ranges on the futures. This was an entry at $1.60 and $1.55 for those options. We hit the first target, the T1. We always have these available at the very onset of the trade. You can't trade blind, and we got here at 33.21, and the first target, pretty good, $2.15. But remember, we plan for up to 3 targets. So there's a T1, there's a T2, and there's a T3. Now, as price continued higher, we got to T3, which was 33.33, right in this candle, either at 11.35 or really 11.40 as we were moving up through there. And for the most part, we're talking about another scale out at about $3 and change. Depending on how quickly you got to that surge, it could have made a big difference because that candle went from about 3 to 3.40 very quickly. My second scale out was $3.20. So now I moved the stop loss to the old T1. Right? So I scale out at T2. So just like at T1 we moved to break even, at T2 we moved to the old target at T1, and that now becomes a tightened or trailing stop. At that point, my T3 could be 2 things. It's either going to be another price target or it's going to be time. In this case, I need to be out before 4 p.m. I'm usually scaling out no later than about 3:50 p.m. Eastern. And I actually did about 3:45, so I might have left a little bit of money on the table. The last scale out for this trade for me was right around, what did I get? 450. So 450. Ultimately, again, this is one of those days where we just trended. We don't know that. That's why we have multiple targets. That's why we tighten our stops as we go. And this was today's trade. In at 155 and 160. First scale out at 215. Second scale out at 320, final scale out at 450. It's a day trade. The job is, what can we get done today? We set up the trades in the morning in the first hour. So we start scanning at 9:30, and then we're pencils down by 10:30, 10:35. This is all East Coast time. So whatever we're going to trade gets set up in just this hour. We actually set up gold twice, and we actually set up the SPY as well. That was another winning trade that we set up and took. So come check out what we're doing in the morning. You can follow me along live and see what we're doing in terms of these opportunities. If you check out the notes in the replay, you'll see we had a nice trade in SPY as well. And I wanted to walk you through this example in gold and just remind everybody, if you got that first hour of the day free, come hang out with us in the mastery. And then after that, as I send out these swing trades, like the winner that we have in GLD, we scaled out of the 295 calls today. T2 was $12.70 after an entry at $4.85. Coke, we closed today $2.95 after entering at 160, 165, scaling out at 240, scaling out at 325. Today, we got taken out and closing the trade at a winner. Once again, scaling out at 295. Check out the trade alert recap that I send out as an alert. You can see everything that we did with the swings, closed swings, open swings, as well as our new position trade in AbbVie, which I alerted today.